All right, so Sunday, here we are. It's like I said, I'm restarting my rotation. So last week, it took me 2 weeks to recover from my show, and I mean recover as in get my diet dialed in to figure out how many calories I need to maintain my new body weight. I needed to put weight back on after the show to stay as lean as I was post show. Would have been too psychologically demanding. I prefer to be about 15 pounds heavier than I am on stage. So I'm sitting at about 238. I was 222. So about a pound or two variation around 238. I can get down to 237 or up to 240. Just kind of depends. Your body weight fluctuates because of water weight quite a bit. So I finished my 2 weeks of recovery, regaining the weight, getting my diet dialed in, getting my body acclimated to hard training. Right when you're getting close to a show, the training's intensity drops significantly because we're trying to reduce fatigue and let the body just kind of recover. So that way, when you get on stage, you're showing happy, healthy, recovered muscles. You'll see a lot of people get on stage and they are grinding until the very end to get on stage to be in shape. And you can usually tell through their physique, it looks tired. And when you get used to seeing competitors over time, you'll become more aware of what that looks like. But they kind of look like they're stringy. The muscles look soft. They don't look very detailed and full. It's something you got to become used to seeing before you can really see what it is and get used to seeing it. It just takes a little bit of experience to see it, or do it to yourself and you'll recognize the difference too. Um, but 2 weeks to recover the diet, get the training intensity back. You want to recover slowly after a show. If you just jump right back into it, you can hurt yourself quite easily. So I took the last 2 weeks to find exercises that I really enjoy, the ones that I feel the most when I'm trying to work certain muscle groups, and identifying what I can handle in terms of volume and intensity that I can still recover from. So I love training all the time. I am an absolute workout addict. I've been training since I was a child. Everyone in my family works out. It's just in our nature. I love lifting weights. So I train 10 times in a week. So how's my split go? It's push, pull, legs, push, pull, legs, rest. So I train 6 days in a row. On my upper body days where I'm doing push or pull, I train twice a day those days. So today's pull, for instance, I'm going to do 3 back exercises. I'll rest, I'll eat, I'll come back later and I'll do biceps and rear delts, which will take another 3 exercises. So I only do 6 exercises per day. Each training session is about 30 to 45 minutes. So I don't train for more than an hour and a half per day, which is really standard. But because I can come back to the gym repeatedly because I literally work here 7 days a week, it's a way that I can keep my schedule my way. Also, I mean, when you have to go to the gym because it's your job, it's really easy to just like try different exercises and routines. Also, I've noticed once I get past 3 or 4 intense exercises, I start to just get distracted. I start to play on my phone. I start to dilly dally. I start to just mess around. And that last 3 exercises, instead of taking just 30 more minutes, it takes me an hour and a half. And all of a sudden I've worked out for 2 hours and only gotten 6 exercises done. Whereas now I can do 6 or 7 exercises in an hour, hour and a half. So my point is, my training is to maintain efficiency, enjoyment, and also my body recovers from it. I'm not training to torture myself. I love training this way. And what you love to do is not hard to do because you love it, right? So if you hate training a certain way, you're not going to stick with it. You're not going to enjoy it, and it's not going to go on for very long. And the idea behind fitness and health and strength and muscle building, all of it, life in general is about consistency of effort, improving your effort consistently. So consistency, consistency, consistency. I love to train. I love to train hard, and I love to show up every day and train. Easy, easy, easy. Love it, love it, love it. That's why I'm good at this, because I've been doing it since I was a kid. I've been grinding on exercises for like 5 years to get where I'm at. People don't see the work that goes into it, but I know what I put into it because I love it so much. So if you love a certain exercise, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get better at it. If you don't like an exercise, you're not going to get good at it. If you don't like a diet, you're not going to stick with it. Now, diet's different because preference and what you need are not the same thing. But now I'm just kind of getting carried away. My training split, I figured out what's working for me. 3 exercises, possibly 4. I train morning and afternoon on chest and back days by splitting up my arms and my chest, or my arms and my back. And then my leg day is one long workout. It's 4 exercises. I don't need to do a 2 a day. My legs, the intensity is far too much to train twice in a day for legs. So today, what we got planned for back, and this is how I structure my training. My first exercise is the one I want to progress the most. It's the one that I want to put all the effort into. And the following 2 exercises, I'm not coming at them with any less effort, but I know that they're going to be harder to progress because now I'm tired. So I'm going to warm up with some pull-ups, try and wake the back up, get a little bit of a stretch in the joints, and I'm going to go right into chest-supported T-bar row. I like that exercise because I've identified it feels great for me. I feel the contraction, and it's an exercise I enjoy getting strong at. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to do it. There's no magic exercise. All you need to do is pull something horizontally into you and pull something down from a vertical position. That's literally all you got to do to train your back. Pick something that looks like one of those 2 things and you're golden. And if you can fit a third one in that's also a favorite of yours, do it. It's up to you how you train. If you can't recover from it, back off. If it's too easy, train harder, do more, increase the weight. There's a lot of different easy ways to change things. So I'm gonna do pull-ups, I'm gonna do my chest supported T-bar row, and then I'm gonna do a dumbbell row. It's similar to a machine row where you do it single hand, but I prefer the dumbbell row because I can move the weight wherever I want to. I have to pull a weight really low towards my hip to feel my lat contract. If I'm gonna do it on a machine, I kind of feel it pulling high. And when I pull my elbows high, I feel everything around my shoulder blade, the rhomboids, the traps, and the teres. I'm not feeling the big, thick lats working, and I want those to grow the most. I want a back like Dorian Yates. I want a back like Ronnie Coleman. So I'm gonna make those lats grow so I can get my version of what their development looks like. So we pull up, T-bar row, really low, dumbbell row to the hip. And then finally, because my arms are gonna be way too tired to perform a good lat or a good pull up, I do a lat pull down instead. So I do 1 pull to warm up, I do 2 rows, and then I do 1 more pull from the lat pull down. So you guys can see how every exercise is either down or horizontal. It's one or the other. That's my entire back day. I do 1 warm up on pull-ups, and then I do 3 really hard efforts on my rows in my lat pull down. I end up doing like 9 sets. It's not insane. And if we look at the science, they say there's a variation in what you can recover from in terms of volume throughout the week to stimulate muscle growth. They say it varies from like 16 to 20 sets. So if I'm doing 9 today and then 9 later this week, that's 18. I'm literally halfway between 18 and 20. That's perfect. That's scientifically where I should be anyways. And it's funny that it found its way there. I didn't even do it on purpose. It's just what I found works for me. Later this afternoon, I'll come back. I'll do 1 set or 1 exercise for rear delts. It'll be reverse dumbbell fly. I usually lay face down on an incline bench. I grab some dumbbells and just squeeze my shoulder blades together. I like that because it's like a compound movement. It hits my rear delts, but it also gets my upper back, which I think needs to be thicker. So like 2 birds, 1 stone. I'll do 3 sets there. And then I'll do 3 different bicep curls. I'm gonna do a preacher curl where my elbows are in front of me on a preacher bench, so I can really focus on the peak contraction and feeling this outside head of my bicep working. I don't have an easy time feeling this part of my bicep. I always feel it come to the inside. And this is the part of my bicep that's definitely thicker. I need the bicep to be complete in terms of development. So I do my preacher curls first to feel that squeeze. And then I sit on an incline bench, leaning back. That way I can get a stretch on the bicep. And I feel like a nice stretch, constant tension by doing an incline curl. And then finally I do dumbbell hammer curls. And this is gonna help get the forearm and the brachioradialis muscle, the muscle that bridges the elbow. This is gonna add a lot of bicep width. I literally am missing the development in this muscle. You'll see some bodybuilders have a bicep, this thing that looks like just a hunk of meat. It looks like a hot dog, just like wedged in there, and then their tricep. I'm missing. It's like it's got a gap. It's so weird, and it's because I don't do any of those. I've never done them, so I've just started doing them. So we're gonna see over the next 2 or 3 years if I can get this muscle to grow. All I can do is try. If it doesn't make it grow, so what? It's extra curls. It's only gonna make my biceps bigger anyway, so I'm not really losing here. I'm just trying to make an effort to change something. So once again, my focus on my road to pro, I need bigger legs in terms of quad. I need thicker, bigger biceps, and I can add muscle everywhere else, but specifically these two areas are my weaknesses that are very obvious. I could be bigger everywhere. I'm not a 275-pound bodybuilder yet, but along the way, I want to try and complete my physique and not have to patchwork everything over time. So pick something you love, get better at it, work on it all the time as much as you can without hurting yourself by overtraining or undertraining, and see what happens. It takes a long time to see the results of your work. So make sure you love doing it, otherwise you won't do it, and give 6 months to a year of hard work and something will happen and you'll learn from the results and then change your approach. Pretty simple. So I really hope you guys love training. If you don't, I hope we can find a way for you to love training. It's something that's really good for you, just mentally, physically, long term. It's something we should all do to varying levels of intensity based on our goals. Otherwise, you'll have a great Sunday. I hope I can post this on a Sunday. I'm not great at posting things the day I record them, but either way, message still stands true. Work hard, and I hope you guys enjoy your training today if you're training.